in the stadium at the National Tennis Center. Zivojinovic serving at 1-2 in the second. McEnroe won the first set 6-4.
Love 15.
Watch how McEnroe steps in. We can show a replay of that last point. Maybe we don't have it, but boy, he stepped into that backhand passing shot like old times. Confidently strode right into the ball, nailed it. 87 match record, 32-11.
Let's go down to Brent Musburger.
I'm here watching with Brad Gilbert, who advanced. Guy Forget was his victim today. Boris Becker could be next, but Brad, you rode kind of a roller coaster in your match this afternoon.
There were a lot of ups and downs. I had a chance to win the first 2 sets, and I let him back in the second set, and then he was up 2 breaks in the third, and I snuck that out. So I was like, maybe I should have won the second, maybe I should have won the third, but I toughed him out in 4.
Let's take a look at McEnroe and Zivojinovic. We've heard Tony Trabert and Pat saying that McEnroe has showed some of his old form here in the last few points. The Yugoslavian Serbian.
40-15.
I think for Bobo to be effective, he has to get in on everything. If he stays back, he's in a heap of trouble.
Deuce.
That was a great second serve.
Unbelievable second serve. He's the Dwight Gooden of tennis. He's got some big heat on that serve. But if he misses his first serve, he's going to get in trouble because McEnroe's got good feel on the return. And I think that's definitely a difference in this match, serving and returning.
Deuce.
think, I mean, right now he's having to play too many shots because he's going for too much in the first serve. And I think McEnroe's starting to move in and starting to catch his serve on the rise. And I think Bobo here is just trying to stall a little bit for time here to break the rhythm, because Mac's starting to return his serve very well. You know, it's just like a batter pulling out, you know, when a pitcher's hot. He's just trying to catch a little breather here.
Game for McEnroe, Brad.
That's a huge swing.
McEnroe leads.
Him and Wendell are the two best I've ever seen when they get up a break, because all of a sudden, you know, you can look up the scoreboard and it can go from 2-1 to 6-1. Unbelievable. They're great front runners because they have big serves. And when a guy like McEnroe gets ahead, you know, he can start taking more chances on the return of serve, and it's that much more tough to play against him.
Love 15.
Brad, well, we have a quick moment. If Boris Becker wins as expected, how would you play him here?
Well, he's got to win his match this afternoon, but I'm looking forward to it. I've beaten him both times I've played him. The key to Boris is he's got a huge first serve, and I mean, if he's serving big, you know, it can be a lot of problems. But I think you got to take a little pace off the return, and you got to make him volley. I mean, and you know, all of a sudden he can get in a tendency of staying back. So I'm hoping he doesn't serve that well. If he doesn't serve well, I got a good chance to win.
How does his service compare with a McEnroe's?
Different serve. I mean, you're talking about a guy, you know, with just total heat on his first serve, and then a guy that's got a great slice, you know. And then when McEnroe hits a big serve, it seems a lot bigger because he's hit a bunch of slices. Becker's first serve is hard. It's really hard. It's as big as I've ever seen anybody serve.
Brad, Jimmy Connors made the observation that McEnroe, now serving, is so tough coming down the middle.
Especially to right-handers, he gets it over your right hip on the forehand. He seems to pull it into your body, and it's a tough place to bring the return out of. I mean, Connors is probably the best of all time at that, bringing the return from the body. But most players, it gives, you know, quite a bit of difficulty because you have no angle to work with. And then he's moving tremendously forward, and then a lot of times he's volleying down. So a lot of times you're in a defensive situation, even off the second serve. You know, there, I mean, he put Bobo in a lot of trouble off the second serve, where, you know, 99% of the guys can never do that.
40-15. Game McEnroe.
Brad, I want to thank you very much for dropping by. Good luck. And in impressive fashion now, McEnroe has moved up 4-1. We'll be right back.
Zivojinovic serving and trailing 1-4 in the second. John McEnroe won the first set 6-4.
Love 15.
Looking down at the stadium at the National Tennis Center. Stadium that accommodates about 20,000 people. And they settled out most of the time.
I've been watching Zivojinovic miss some forehands, and I think he opens up very quickly. He almost face onto the net when he's hitting the ball. And he's made a lot of mistakes. McEnroe is now gradually getting on top of him and taking advantage of his mistakes. John is getting more confident, it appears, and Zivojinovic is starting to slide some.
I'm impressed with the way McEnroe has been moving in the match.
15-30.
It's his 4th ace. Don't you think that comes also from confidence? Whenever you're playing well, you get to moving a little bit better. You have better ideas where you're going.
Definitely.
30 all.
Pat, you've been involved in this game, golf, football, and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the mental aspects? I mean, like we're talking about confidence. That's obviously a mental thing. Is it tougher in golf, for example, you think, than in tennis?
I don't think it's any tougher. I think when you see a guy get on a roll, as they do from time to time, one guy gets hot, and he starts to believe, and he just stays hot.
How about a kicker? I mean, confidence.
Nothing like being successful.
Right. Confidence helps that, doesn't it?
Sure does.
40-30.
So from love 30, it's now 40-30. I think sometimes people don't really believe or understand when you talk about the mental aspects of the game, not just thinking about your game plan, but what happens when you get confident, when you get on a roll and things get in that zone, as they say.
Game Zivojinovic.
John didn't think that serve was good. He thought it was wide.
McEnroe leads 4-2.
Zivojinovic now getting a third of his first serves in. At one stage was just 15%, but that's not nearly enough, and that's why he's behind.
Needs to be somewhere up there around the 60 mark, doesn't it?
At least shot.
Well, that was just a super rally from both players. The lob that went over McEnroe's head here was a great lob. Good disguise, underslide from Zivojinovic. And this topspin backhand across court, I always felt with McEnroe, Tony, that if he's hitting his cross-court backhand, where he comes over the top of the ball, if he's hitting that confidently, it seems to lift his game.
I agree with that. The best shot in that rally to me was McEnroe when he got to the lob, rolled it down to Zivojinovic's feet as he was coming in.
Low.
Well, as you say, Tony, he seems to be gaining more and more confidence.
And Pat, this kind of a win, assuming that John does win, will help him tremendously because it's a good player. You know, this is a guy can really play the game, and John got to say, hey, I've got to be back somewhat to be this successful.
Low.
All of a sudden, Bobo's not making much of anything. He's not making many serves. He's not making the returns. Thoroughly frustrated at this stage.
Well, I would think that if McEnroe did come out of this match as a straight set winner, it would be warning bells would be going off with quite a few players in the tournament.
Game McEnroe.
Be back at the U.S. Open after this word from your local station.